It is often said that challenges in life are inevitable, but getting defeated by them is truly optional. How many times do we find that when we are faced with challenges in life, the only thought that comes to our mind is giving up? Because right then, that is the only best and easiest option. But that was not the case with Rose Harvey. Rose Harvey has accomplished the unthinkable by pulling everything back together after being stuck in a very difficult life challenge for a short period of time. Do you wish to learn more about her then? Well, stay tuned. The 2022 TCS London Marathon saw Rose Harvey finish first among British women in 2:27:59, surprising the world. However, nobody noticed the inspiring journey that led up to that victory. It started with turmoil in the early summer of 2020. Due to the global pandemic, 2020 was undoubtedly not the best year for any of us. But let's just say that for Harvey, it marked the start of the difficulties she would soon face in life. Harvey's life was nothing short of perfect, with a good job in the corporate finance legal field, a good salary, and a wonderful family. However, despite Harvey's strength and bravery, life came prepared. Harvey was not an exception to the worldwide pandemic that shut everything down and put everyone on lockdown. However, as Harvey was adjusting to this new threat in her life, she lost her job, something she had always relied on in times of stress. Harvey's determination was the only thing keeping her from succumbing to depression at just 27 years old, despite having no job and being confined to her home due to lockdowns. Now, with more free time on her hands, Harvey considered taking up any hobby, and despite the fact that there were thousands of restrictions on going out in the world, she found herself more drawn to running. Even though running had never been at the top of her list of interests or hobbies, it had always been there, so it wasn't really surprising. Running itself was something that surprised her enough to even consider it. Even Harvey, like the rest of us, was an occasional runner, running to catch the bus, running because she was late, or simply running because she wanted to work out. And taking it all up professionally was nowhere near her areas of greatest interest, despite the fact that being good at it was something that came naturally to her. She therefore truly enjoyed running when she had more time to do so as a result of the lockdown. And she now gives the lockdown a significant amount of credit for her success and running career. In fact, when discussing how her career began during the lockdown, she once said, "Despite that lockdown being entirely rubbish, I'm grateful for it because ultimately it started my running career." Prior to that, Harvey participated in a few races. Although they weren't particularly noteworthy, they were sufficient to demonstrate that she did have a thing for running, even at the young age of 21. In actuality, she didn't start running until she moved to London. She claims that she joined her local club, Clapham Chasers, primarily to meet people because she had no friends and had become terribly out of shape from years of partying at university. Fortunately, through a surprising turn of events, she developed into a strong club runner despite having a demanding job as a junior lawyer and little time for training. She even ran a half marathon in just 1:22 in 2016. And despite only having time to train 3 or 4 times per week, ran her first marathon in just 2:55 in 2017. Despite participating in other races as well and even winning some of them, Harvey never considered turning her hobby into a full-time profession, at least not until she was noticed by her current coach, Phil Kissey, during the lockdown. In fact, it is not incorrect to say that her life changed during one of her running sessions in Battersea Park when Phil Kissey, the coach, noticed her and suggested that he take her on. Within a year, she ran the Cheshire Marathon and slashed her personal best by 25 minutes, finishing in 2:30:58. Even though good things were steadily happening to her, it seemed like life still had more to offer. Less than 6 months later, Rose found herself for the first time on the elite starting line of the 2021 London Marathon, thanks to the proper coaching from Phil. Despite how wonderful everything was and how thrilled she was, a car presented her with yet another challenge in life. She was running down a South London street on one of her final training runs before the London Marathon when a driver pulled off her driveway without looking. She slammed into the car and collapsed on the hood. The majority of the impact was on her knee. The driver yelled at her after getting out of the car. He was so angry, which was strange given I was on the sidewalk, she says. My first reaction was to keep running. Though her intention was to keep running, it seemed like the worst decision she'd ever made, at least at the time. She didn't see the damage for a very long time and only realized it when she got home. Harvey's knee was so swollen that she couldn't bend it with just 10 days left before she was scheduled to line up with the elite women on the start line at Greenwich Park. She tried to continue running but could only hobble as all of her preparation and confidence came crashing down in a matter of seconds. Nevertheless, she made the decision to keep trying, and on the day of the marathon, Harvey made the same decision. She admits, "I was clinging on to that 1 ounce of hope that it would be okay. I went outside after covering my knee with roughly half a tube of Voltarol gel. I decided to just start the race and give it my best shot in honor of everyone who has supported me throughout my marathon running roller coaster experience." She expressed her emotions that day as a lot of imposter syndrome, she admits. "What the hell am I doing here on the starting line? I wondered." Typically, when you're younger, you do track and all the shorter distances before gradually progressing to the marathon. I didn't have all of that experience, nor did I have all of that training. I immediately headed to the marathon. She nevertheless earned her place at the starting line because of her time of 2:29:45, which is yet another personal record. She made the decision to take up running seriously, even obtained a job, and began treating her injury as best she could, regaining her happiness, confidence, and everything else she had lost. After a year had passed, she reappeared, standing side by side with the elites. She was fitter and faster. She had left her position as a lawyer to pursue her full-time career as a sponsored athlete. Nobody was aware of the fact that she had busted her knee in a collision with a car and that there was a good chance she wouldn't complete the race, but eventually she did. Surprisingly, Rose not only completed the race but also did so in the fastest time among British women, 2:27:58. Crossing the finish line brought on such a wave of emotions, she says. "I had a chance of finishing with less than 50%. I had kept my composure for such a long time, keeping quiet about what had occurred. I suddenly started crying. I was unable to speak." She didn't tell her coach about it until after the race. In fact, she even took time off of work this summer to concentrate on her training, thanks to Puma's sponsorship and coach Phil Kissey's guidance. It all worked out in London as well. Moreover, now that she has a new job and a successful running career, Harvey is overjoyed that the legal firm she works for has allowed her to work part-time so she can give her running a fair shake. Harvey is clearly enjoying the journey and seeing where it takes her now that she has 3 major championships ahead of her. "I definitely think I have more to achieve than the half marathon, and I haven't run much on the track since my days as a student with Worcester AC, so I'd like to try a track race maybe," she said, and we can only wish her the best. With that, everyone, our video for today concludes. We truly appreciate your support throughout the video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Enable the notification bells to receive all information about our channel. Everyone, be safe until next time, and we'll see you all soon.